Okay, our next question, first respondent will be Mr. Tipton. Do you think the county government is doing enough to support and maintain law enforcement and fire protection in the county? And do you have any ideas for improvement?
Can you repeat that?
Sure. Do you think the county government is doing enough to maintain law enforcement and fire protection in the county? And do you have any ideas to improve it?
Well, it's what we've got. We've got a pretty good crew of deputies that's working here. I've got some stats on that and everything, you know, to figure out where they're at, you know. Like on, we serve civil papers, arrest warrants, you know. Between January of 2017 and December 31st, 2017, as far as the civil process papers, there was 1,247 that was sent out and that we had to serve and everything. We had roughly 443 warrants that we served in Eastland County here, you know. As far as booking into the jail, we had 918 males, then we had 328 females that were booked into the county jail and everything, you know. Any given time of the year, we had, let's see, on the jail population, like in January, we had an average of, for January, 64 inmates. February was 63, March was 70, and April 74, May we had 78, and June we had nearly 79, July we had 85, August we had 79, then September we had 80, October we had 72, in November we had 64, and this December we had about 56. So right there is showing that we've got a lot of inmates, a lot of arrests made and everything that on the average, you know, is what we're trying to keep the jail down, population down, and everything else, you know. Most of the time, it comes out of the county budget. It doesn't come out of the state, doesn't assist us with it. And they put all these mandates on top of us to do different stuff with the jails and everything. As far as the law enforcement, yes. I serve warrants from October 16 to...
Time's up. Do you think the county is doing enough to maintain and sustain law enforcement and fire protection in the county?
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job. We've had a couple of small fires in Ranger. We live southeast of Ranger, and the fire department there in Ranger does a great job. They stuck with that one fire at the airport all night long to keep the hot spots out. I know Eastland is going to be the same way. These men are dedicated to the work that they do, and I'm proud that we have them because it's not something that everybody can do.
With the budget we have at hand, I think they're funded to the best of the ability that we can do as of now. I fully think we need to fund law enforcement. They need They need to be fully funded so they can adequately do their job to make Eastland County safer, cleaner, and a better place to raise my kids here. You guys want to raise your grandkids here. They fully need to be funded. The fire department and the ambulances are 90% of the time, they're the first ones on the scene when there's an accident. They need to be subsidized. They use their rubber gloves. They use their products on those fire trucks. They use water. They use material. There's no reason that they shouldn't be funded as well. And 90% of our firemen around here are volunteers. They do it for free for you. They do it for free for us. And I think there needs to be fully, adequately funded programs for them.
I believe the Sheriff's Department is funded like the best we can do. We got to have the law. If we didn't have it, we'd be back in the Old West again. And I know that I was told that I think the average deal at the jail inmate population is anywhere from 40 to 50 a month, and it costs $35 per person per day to run that. It's like they said, the county, I think, is doing all they can do. As far as the fire departments, we have, I think there's 3 paid fire departments in the county, and we have several volunteer fire departments. Like I said, I live in Desdemona. I'm on the fire department there. If we have a medical emergency, it's at least 20 minutes for the ambulance to get there. But there's, we gotta support our first responders to help. I mean, and it's like you said, it is volunteer. We wouldn't do it if we didn't love it. So, but like they said, I think we're doing the best we can with what we have to work with. Thank you.
As far as law enforcement goes, we're doing a pretty good job, I feel, in Eastland County. Sheriff Bradford always has to work off a shoestring with 5 knots in it because we don't have enough money for him to do the things he needs to do to buy the men the protection they need. We've got to make sure first and foremost that our men are safe. We got one man out here touring around at night, no backup, no nothing to help him. If he gets off somewhere, he's by himself. We can do better than that. He's got to have everything that it takes to make that sheriff department work. And I keep going back to the part about if we clean up Precinct 2, we'll have less and less of that. And yeah, as we grow ourselves out of this and we start to see things turning around, we'll have less people in jail, we'll have less dollars being spent. But as the stuff comes down from the state, the requirements and all that, it just gets worse and worse. As the fire departments go, I think most of our volunteer fire departments are underfunded. You get out here like it is right now, today's one of the lowest humidity days we've had in a long time. We've had just a dab of moisture in the last 10 days. We're a hot box. Anything goes off at another county starts, it's coming right through here. The wind's blowing hard. These men with these volunteer fire departments have got to have what it takes because they're out here serving and protecting us in more ways than one. If a fire gets going, they've got to save structures. They've got to have everything that they need, and they can't go looking for it. It's got to be right there in their building when they get ready to go. Thank you.
Next question, we'll begin with Mr. Golke. There's been considerable talk around the county about the large growth of property tax appraisals, and yet would you continue to vote to use all of that extra money that because of higher appraisals has brought in more tax money? Can you just address that issue? Okay. There's been much talk around the county about the higher appraisals of property tax appraisals have gone up, and the consensus of thinking is that that is bringing more money into the county coffers, and yet it's all being consumed. And so, would you just comment on that? Does it, with that growth of supposed growth of revenue, is it necessary that all of it been spent, or can some be saved, or whatever?
Yeah, the Eastland County appraisal district is funded by the state, and you know, I've noticed, I know most everybody's noticed their property taxes just go up year after year. There's a guy that works with us at Precinct 2. When he moved here, his property taxes on his house were $3,000. It was just, you know, a small house. He couldn't believe it, so therefore he's gone somewhere else, but to another house that he moved into. But Eastland County Appraisal District is state funded. They're making a lot of money, and I think that we need to look into that. I think we need to question them on and if I remember right, a couple of years ago, the idea was that if we increased property taxes, it would bring more people in from, like from Austin area, and those type of, maybe not just people, but those type of homes to be built, big, nice homes to be built, and that was their premise was. If the property taxes were higher, then it would bring in a more wealthy type of person to live in it, or however you want to say it. But anyway, I think that we need to kind of take a look at that at some point in time.
Randy Clark's office is subsidized by the state and by the county. We pick up a portion of that. We pick up part of their insurance, and the state makes us do that. There's a lot of burden still that the state is mandating and that is putting on us. I'm not saying this is a problem, and I'm not saying this is a benefit, but there's multi-millionaires coming in from Dallas, Fort Worth, buying these wooded lands up for $10,000 an acre so they can have a luxury place to hang out with their buddies and go hunting. And what that's doing is that's driving the cost of our property up. That's driving our taxes up. Because if this place next door is worth $10,000 an acre, your place has to be too. There's a downfall to all of it, and there's an upside to all of it. It depends on how you want to look at it. There's two sides to this coin, and it's going to depend on which side you want to step on. And you can make anybody mad talking about both sides of it. There's a lot of funding issues, and there's a lot of subsidized stuff that the county has to do for that appraisal district that a lot of people don't know about.
Well, I agree with Jason on this one. It is all the people out of the Metroplex and stuff. They're coming down. And they are giving big money for land that's really not worth that much. But if they're going to give it, and then they're going to tax it. So, and as far as I really don't think it helps the county. Well, I guess it does help the county a little bit, but it's not really the county's fault. That's the state, if you ask me.
Mr. Gentry?
The appraisal district it's a sore subject with a lot of us. When I moved here, my taxes were $907. I've never seen that again since I've been here. There's talk that the state's involved and the state's making them do this and that. When you go in there to talk to them, I've got 2 outbuildings that you could have gone to Sutherland's involved for $650 a piece, and we got them appraised at $68,000. I've been up there 3 years in a row, and he just moves it around and does other things with it. So, as far as compare, you ask him, or you ask the office, you know, where do you get your comps? And they brag about saying Granbury. Well, we all know we're not Granbury. We never will be, and we don't want to be. We're Eastland County, we want to come out that way. But, you know, we've got to get the land is going to sell, but we've got to get the homes selling. That's where the improvements on the land is where our tax base comes from. And we've got to get that in check. When we do, then we can all, you know, I'd like to build a shop, but I can't build one without it coming out costing $3,000 a year. I might as well go rent one somewhere, you know, and just taxes. So we've got to get the tax appraisal office has got to get into check.
Repeat the question again.
There has been, obviously, this has been commented here, there's been appraisal rates. The appraisals have gone up, which has in turn brings more tax money into the county coffers. And so, but yet all of that money is being used. We talked about how financially strapped the county is, and I'm just asking to address that issue. Is there sort of a windfall from the appraisals that the county is benefiting from, and so what has gone with that money?
Well, the appraisal district, for some reason, I don't know, here about 4 or 5 years ago when chief appraiser retired, and the ones in there now come in there and started, well, our appraisal rates started doubling or going up and everything, and it took about 2 or 3 years for them to get on everybody, you know. The appraisal district, which I like to see my place as high as priced as it can be and everything, because that means it's worth more. I give $30,000 for my place out there because I've had a few improvements on it, but now it's worth about twice that much and everything without the improvements. You know, but the main thing would be actually the tax rate that is set off of your appraisal, what the appraisal list your property as. That's what's going to raise or lower your taxes is the tax rate and everything. As far as they're just, my understanding was that they wanted the appraisal districts, you know, to get all of Texas in line at the same rate of growth or whatever, where the Dallas had the same value as Eastland County had, which everybody knows that ain't even close to being right. You know, you can't do that and everything. But that's what the state was sort of mandating, in my understanding, when they started this, raising the appraisal value of the homes and land and everything else.
Okay, next question, Mr. Marks with the first respondent. The Commissioner's Court develops and implements the county budget and supervises the county's employees. What financial and personnel management experience do you have in performing such duties?
Like I said earlier, I've got over 15 years of budget experience. I've got 15 years of business experience that I can bring into this county, of how to manage it, how to maintain it, where we need cuts, where we need improvements. There's endless possibilities we could do. There's other counties in this state that are getting rid of departments. There's departments in this county that they're overstaffed, and due to the overstaffing in, I'm not going to name departments, in certain departments gives the elected officials the out to not be in that office. There has been many complaints, and that's what brought on things from last year's budget, why positions got cut. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be changed. There's tons of things. It's an unlimited list of things that you could debate over. I believe my business experience will help with that. I believe my budget experience will help with that. And I just think we need a lot of changes, and it's everywhere from the dirt roads to the courthouse. It's everywhere in between.
The Commissioners Court develops and implements the county budget and supervises county employees. What financial and personnel management experience do you have to qualify you in those areas?
Okay. Like I said, it's been several years ago, but I did serve on the school board for a couple of terms, and we had to set budget for the school board. As far as cutting, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see their taxes raised. Commissioners have got to do, it's not an easy job, that's for sure. Nobody wants to have to lose people or any of that, or not be able to buy equipment to work with. So it's, like I said, my experience as on the school board, I believe would help.
Mr. Gentry?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, sir. The Commissioners Court develops and implements the county budget and supervises the county's employees. What financial and personnel management experience do you have in performing those duties?
I've owned my own business for many years. I sold out the first time when I was 17. I've always had the budget. Money has not always been an easy thing to come by. The things that I've been involved in, buying and selling, construction and so forth, you know, you've got to budget and plan your money ahead of time. You've got to know where you're going to get your dollars to do your jobs. You've got to stay out ahead of the curve. We've got a budget that we can bring in and make happen for us. We've got a budget that we can see through to the end. In my experience, I feel confident about the position that we'll be able to handle this, and that, you know, we can bring prosperity to Precinct 2 and to Eastland County. Thank you.
My dad taught me how to work, you know, and when he did, he taught me what a dollar meant and everything. So as far as saving money or whatever for what I need and wanted to buy, my dad taught me how to do that and everything. My place has been paid for the last 10 years. My pickup has been paid for the last 10 years. That's just because I've been taking care of it and doing the maintenance that needed to be on it. And that way, I don't have anything but my utility bills and stuff like that. That's what we have to be able to get the county-wise to do and everything, to where it's no debt or anything in that perspective and everything. We just got to be able to manage our money better and everything.
Well, I opened a lumberyard and hardware store in Ranger back several years ago, and we owned that and operated it for 14 years, and we had a budget that we kept intact each year. Of course, it wasn't anywhere close to as big as the county is, but the principles are the same. Also, I work with the elders at our church, doing the budget for our congregation. That's the experience that I've got in that. And that's about it.
Thank you.